What's going on, good people? It's your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor, and I'm in a bit of a different setup. I'm thinking as I'm kind of shifting in the way that I do business, the way that I create content, and the way that I serve the audience, which is you watching this, is I feel like something's got to change. I think more than anything, it's a lot of people making a lot of videos on YouTube, and rather than personally trying to keep up with some of the big people out there, I'm getting real niche down and really just focusing on more one-to-one conversations with individuals like yourself. So I'm calling myself your real estate coach. What does that mean exactly? What that means is, I'm going to continue to serve value through platforms like YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're catching this. But I really want to focus on what is going to help agents in this new year really scale and grow their business in a way that fits your lifestyle. So, for example, if you are that single dad, single mom, and you're just like, you know what, I got to open up another stream. These kids are getting very, very expensive, and I need to do something different, but I don't have a lot of degrees under my belt or certifications. Well, as you know, if you decide to get your real estate license, no one's ever going to stop you and tell you that, you're selling too much real estate, knock it off. So the potential is limitless in this business. This is one of several businesses that I run, my wife and I really, truly want to have an incredible year. Last year was honestly my worst year yet in real estate, and as transparent as I try to be, I want to be even more transparent in sharing what worked, what didn't work, and what my game plan is going into the new year. So let's start off with what didn't work. All right, so what I feel didn't work in real estate is probably a lot of the guru talk, getting a coach, getting a mentor, getting someone that's going to be in my ear every single day to tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Personally speaking, for me, I'm very self-driven, so that's not something that, for me personally, that I get value in. And I really think that if you're spending thousands and thousands or hundreds of dollars on a real estate coach and you haven't seen a direct ROI on it, then that might be something that you decide to go ahead and get rid of in the new year, especially if you're new. Because if you're new, you really truly don't know what you don't know. And a lot of the advice that these coaches are giving, to be honest with you, are very, very antiquated. I'm actually reading a book right now called The 12-Week Year, and that has been my coach, if you will, my first coach for 2025. And what the book talks about, and I'll link it in the show notes of this video here. What the book is basically breaking down is, instead of having gigantic, lofty goals that you set out where you're like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to run my first marathon, or whatever those goals may be for the new year, we all got them. And I'm not that kind of guy that likes to beat up on individuals that I see in the gym, especially I just left the gym early this morning and it was pretty packed. And there's a lot of memes and stuff going around social media where people are actually poking fun at individuals that are in the gym as a New Year's resolution. For me, I have a heart of gratitude and a mind of grace because my fitness is important to me. So that's not something that I have to personally start at. There are some areas in my life where I started and I failed a number of times that no one knows about, right? So I feel like if you're deciding that you're going to start something new, for me personally, I want to put out more tactical, strategic content that's going to help you get better, get sharper, get faster. So you may not want to see me in front of, in my office or whatnot. So I'm outside in this 30-something degrees weather here in Atlanta, Georgia. It is cold. Trust and believe it's cold. But I want to switch it up because I feel like if I can keep your attention in stronger and new ways, then you're going to return that by either subscribing to the channel, checking out more content, seeing what else I got going on. Maybe it could be talking about alignment here at Real Brokerage. But if you are completely happy at your brokerage and you're not interested in doing that, I've now opened a very small opportunity for individuals that want to work with me one-on-one. Again, it's the typical coach, strategy. You sell a couple $1 million of real estate, now you consider yourself a coach. Well, I like to believe that I'm a little bit different in my approach to this because you are looking at a guy that's got 25 years of sales experience. And I say that very humbly because I just love connecting and talking with people and building relationships. But in those 25 years, I've learned quite a bit. And I want to teach you and show you how to leverage nearly 3 decades in your business. So if that's something that you want to talk about, click the link in the first pinned comment. And again, if you're happy at your brokerage, it's perfectly fine. Ain't no pressure on that area. I just want to see you get better, get sharper, get faster. And if you want to work with me directly as your real estate coach, I am opening that opportunity in a very limited fashion for a few individuals. So please click the link in the first pinned comment. Let's go inside, and now I'm going to talk about my strategy for how I plan on getting multiple listings this year. All right, let's go. Okay, all right, so we're back inside where it's much, much warmer. And I want to share, again, the book that if you're interested in getting it, it's the 12-week year. Strongly suggest this because that's what this video is going to be based on and what we're going to kind of talk through right now. So I have a somewhat audacious goal to drop literally 3 different listings every 90 days for all of 2025. And it's a lot, you know what I mean? Especially when we're talking about the fact that individuals are sitting at 2 and 3% interest rates, and they may not be interested in selling their home at all. So where did I come up with the whole 3 listings every single quarter for 2025? Now that's on the conservative side. I truly believe if I work this plan and the strategy and it really goes off to about 80%, 70 to 80% success rate, I'm probably gonna have way more listings than that. But I want to set the bar at a conservative level because this is my first time setting a very specific target for listings. Of course, I work with buyers and that's gonna be something separate, but specific to listings, I wanna do more listings as a solo agent. And I set a goal of 3 listings every 90 days. And here's how I'm gonna do it. I run ads at the present time through a few platforms, mainly Instagram and Facebook through Reels. And my ads are very straightforward. I don't get into all of like the salesy, let me sell your house for you, all that kind of stuff. I have repurposed my brand completely to be Sold by Marvin. So I bought the domain name. I don't know why I hadn't owned that domain name before, but I bought the domain name soldbymarvin.com. So everything is going to be funneling through my Sold by Marvin platform, which the back-end chassis or my CRM specifically for that is Lofty. So I use Lofty because that's what's offered here at Real Brokerage. I love Lofty. There are other ones that are out there, Follow Up Boss and, KV Core or whatever. But I found Lofty to be the very easiest way to stay top of mind with my current and future clients. So now that I've got that linked to my CRM, I have repurposed one of my Instagram pages to be very specific to Georgia real estate. All right, so I'm here in Georgia, right? So that's where I'm at. So I'm going to talk primarily about Georgia real estate. But I also travel a lot. My wife and I and our daughter, we travel quite a bit, and we're foodies, all right? And we are a plant-based family. So those 3 things, foodies, plant-based family, and real estate, are going to be kind of let's just call that's going to be my base level for content creation. So something that whatever I post is going to be related to food, family, or real estate, right? Which in a lot of ways encompasses who I am as an individual. So rather than trying to be like that person on social media or that person that I follow, I'm going to stay with what I can continually and consistently do. And they always talk about what diet is the best diet, and it's truly the one that you stick with. So what I can stick with is what I talk about and what is already a part of my life anyway, which is my food, I love food, family, and real estate. So what I do and what I've been doing, and you can go on my Instagram right now at Sold by Marvin and check it out, but I'm dropping a brand new Instagram page just because I want to get the algorithm going in my direction, and I want to be a very specific and tactically focused Marvin in this new year with a very separate, dedicated social media platform. So on that social media platform, right now you can check out Sold by Marvin on Instagram, for example, or TikTok, and I call myself the foodie realtor. So we go out to eat once a week in our household, and it's usually someplace either here in the Atlanta area or if we're traveling in various states, and we find one plant-based restaurant that we check out or that we've been to before. And then now I pull that camera out and I highlight that experience there. I talk about the food and all that jazz, right? And so as a foodie realtor, that's what I'm calling myself. Now I'm going to be the go-to source for individuals that are interested in a plant-based type of restaurant in their specific part of Atlanta or Georgia for that matter. And so what I'm kind of thinking about is if you guys really have noticed it, Google is not really the biggest way that people search for items anymore. A lot of times, if I'm looking up restaurants or things to do in a city, I'll actually go through TikTok and Instagram and I'll search the specific hashtag, let's say vegan North Carolina. I'm usually on TikTok or Instagram, and that's how I find restaurants. So my rationale is, if the world is using these types of platforms to do searches, I want to be the guy that's at the forefront of those searches. So of course, if I'm checking out a restaurant and that restaurant is something that I think someone else should want to try, maybe an individual, a particular family, they're moving to Atlanta. They want to know that Atlanta has some good vegan options for you. It could be barbecue, it could be fish, it could be whatever food you're into. If you're moving to an area, you're going to want to know that that area has items and restaurants and things of that nature that can support your specific lifestyle. So I'm kind of doing two things at the same time. One, I'm being an advocate for a plant-based life, which is something that's important to me, right? But two, if individuals are moving to the area and they want to know what to do in that area, I want to be the guy that they tap in with, because I'm the foodie realtor. So not only can I help you find some good food offerings if you're a plant-based family or you have someone in your family that's plant-based, but I also can help you buy or sell your next real estate property. So my thought process is, over the next 90 days, if I pump out a lot of content geared towards, again, my faith or real estate, food, and or family, that I'm going to gravitate towards individuals that family is important to them, they'll gravitate towards me. Individuals that are interested in plant-based life, they'll gravitate towards me. And then of course, individuals that are looking to buy and sell real estate, or because I remind them of someone who they would gravitate towards. Again, I can always call myself your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor. And that's because I'm building a relationship with my avatar, right? I'm a product of an HBCU. So on a lot of my, content, I'm always representing an HBCU, because again, that's something that's important to me. If it's an individual that wants to know, well, what are some historic areas of Atlanta that I should tap in with? What's going on, with Black culture or my faith or whatever the case is, I'm really, really drilling down on the things that I can speak confidently to, right? When my wife and I, we go to a city, we're always interested in the history, African-American history of a particular area, because again, that's something that's important to us, right? That's American history anyway. So when we're going to a city, we usually are looking for, well, what are some of the cool things that African-Americans in a particular area have done in XYZ city, things of that nature. I mean, you guys know every major city has an MLK, right? So that's always something that I think that whatever it is for you, whatever your upbringing or whatever is important to you, specific to your family, try to niche down and be that resource for said topic. And ultimately, it's going to make you look like the mayor of the city for your specific target audience. Because what I'm noticing is that rather than trying to be everything to everybody, I just want to be someone to somebody. Any and everything that I can do to really connect individuals from an amenity standpoint is really truly going to help me, again, score my 3 listings every single quarter. Now, I want to talk about a little bit more into the listing strategy specifically. I know I kind of went off on a tangent really specific to buyers, and I think that matters as well. But specific to listings, what am I going to do? All right, so specific to listings, well, come to me in the office. Let's go talk. All right, so we're back in my office. It's a complete mess in here. I'm doing an overhaul. So yeah, I ain't gonna see all of my office, but I found a little quiet space right here that we could talk about. So what I'm gonna do for the next 90 days, at least now. So I've already secured 1 listing, actually 2 listings. One is actually a listing here in the Atlanta area that I'm gonna be dropping in the next few days. And then the other is a referral that an individual found me on my TikTok, and they are in another state. They wanted to know who is the version of me that I trust in XYZ state. I connected them with an individual that I know, like, and trust and think will do a great job taking care of them. So I count that towards my 3 listings goal. So I'm already, well over 50% to my goal as of this recording, but I have to get 1 more in this particular quarter for me to actually have hit my goal. And I think that that's going to be very possible, because what I'm going to do is, I mentioned that I'm going to do more targeted content on social media. I'm actually going to run not 1, but 5 different ads on Facebook. And you might say to yourself, Marv, you must got a lot of money to be running 5 ads. Absolutely not. So what I'm gonna do is what they call A/B testing. So what I'm really doing if I'm running 5 ads is A, B, C, D, E testing to see which ads resonate the most with potential sellers. So one ad might have a certain type of copy, which is going to be where I tell them I'm doing an audit, I'm offering a free home audit. An audit, especially because right now we're in tax season, so people hear the word audit and that kind of perks them up, right? This starts getting folks' attention. And my thought process is if I tell individuals I'm offering them a free home audit, obviously, that's just another word for a CMA, but they will call me to say, hey, what do you mean you need to audit my home? What's that all about? That's my thought process with one of the ads that I'm going to run. The second is obviously going to be social proof. So I'll show the business that I've done in previous years, the reviews, what individuals have to say. I'm actually going to compile all of the clients that were so gracious and kind enough to give me a video review, because every time I close, I always ask if the individual is comfortable, if they wouldn't mind saying a few, nice words about their experience working with me and my team. And so I will take a composition of what I feel were the best done, video reviews that individuals have given me, and then I'll put that in a particular video that is going to show social proof with other individuals speaking to the experience working with Marvin, right? And so the other 3 ads is some other things that I want to keep under wraps for right now, but those are the first 2 that I plan on running that I want to see what the experience is going to be. If I get more traffic based on the home audit, well, then I know, okay, I need to put more dollars towards that ad. If I get more traffic based on individuals that have left their experience working with me, because of course, online reviews that are written are great, but nothing converts like video in my experience. So because I have that, those videos on file that I can just kind of put together in an ad, I'm going to see what happens with that. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to circle prospect in a few strategic areas of the city. And the way that you can get a list of individuals to circle prospect is very easy. It's free. I've done a video on this before, but you can check the link in the first pinned comment to see the website that I go to that allows me to pull down absolutely free leads, 100% free. The only thing you have to pay for is the telephone number. But if you go to a place like truepeoplesearch.com or a Remind, if your MLS membership gives you access to Remind, R-E-M-I-N-E, usually you can type in the address that you are looking to circle prospect. And if there is a good number for that individual, that will pull up when you do a Remind search. Those are 2, again, that's 2 ways that you don't have to pay for numbers, truepeoplesearch.com or Remind if your MLS offers it. And I'm going to have conversations with individuals. I'm going to talk to them. It's freezing cold. Ain't nobody going door knocking here at all in Atlanta, at least until things warm up. And so I'm just going to call individuals. I'm going to check in with them, but I'm not really going to talk about anything specific to I want to sell their house. I'm just going to call and say, hey, this is your neighborhood realtor, Marvin. Calling to introduce myself. I'm in the area. Of course, I live in the area, and I'm offering my neighbors a free home audit. And what is a free home audit? Well, if they ask me that, well, then now I know I've got an individual that's warm, if you will. They're no longer cold, but they're now warm. And I can explain exactly what that is, which is I'm just going to, take some bullet points of what a CMA does for an individual and try to get the appointment. That's really what my goal is, to offer the free home audit on my circle prospecting calls, explain the benefits of that home audit, how it's no obligation to do anything, and then ultimately try to schedule a in-person or a Zoom conversation. That's all I'm trying to do. If they're not interested, okay, cool. I will keep them in my database and just tell them, hey, if it's okay with you, I just want you to know what the value is of your home. At any given month, I'm just going to send emails to you, and it's very infrequent. You won't get them very often at all. It's just going to let you know what's happening locally in your area. And if the number specific to your home value and the market data or the market trends that I send you, if it gets to a point to where now you might be interested, or at that point you might be interested in selling, we can have a conversation whenever you're ready. But I really just want to stay in relationship with every homeowner that I talk to. Whether they're interested in selling or not is of no consequence to me. I just want to stay on their radar. That way, when they are ready, or if they know someone who's ready, they will be the advocates for me and will make that connection. My listing now that's exactly how I got the listing that's dropping in a few. The individual did not use me to purchase the home, but thankfully they were ready to sell. And now that they're ready to sell, I'm the one that they're thinking about. And that's the exciting thing. The next thing that I'm going to do, so we talked about running ads. We talked about circle prospecting. What's the next thing that you can do? Of course, leveraging a place like YouTube, where you may take and decide to say, okay, I'm going to do home tours for other real estate agents in my area, right? You can do that. Just get their permission and get their okay. If they're at your same brokerage, that's probably going to be a lot easier to just connect with anyone who has a nicely done listing in your area and say, hey, I'd like to do a home tour and put it on my YouTube channel to potentially get some buyers for you. Most listing agents are not going to give you any pushback. Folks hit me up on my listings all the time, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. But those individuals are usually going to be cool with you doing a home tour. The script that I use that really has been extremely helpful in not getting any pushback on doing home tours for other agents is very simple. I just call them or text them and just say, hey, I'm a realtor. This is Marvin with Real Broker. I'm interested in doing a home tour for some prospects of mine via video. Just want to make sure that it's okay to do that. And, you know, if they pass on it, if it's okay to share it with my wider audience on social media. If you say it just like that, or maybe summarize it in some other way, A, you've explained that you would like to do a free home tour for them, for your particular buyer, potential buyer. And B, that if they pass on that, and your buyer prospect can be anyone that's in your database. Anybody that's in your database is a prospect. Don't forget that, all right? But if you indicate to them, which you're already being honest, and you're indicating to them that if they pass on that, that you want to make sure that it's okay to share the video with your wider audience on social media. Well, saying your wider audience on social media covers whether it's posted on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever. And now you've got content that's not even your own listing that you can take and edit on a platform like, you know, CapCut, which is a free editing software. If you go on my channel, I've shown you a video on how anybody with zero editing experience can create very dynamic, high-powered videos absolutely free. I've already done the video for you. I told you, your real estate coach, your brother, your uncle, I got you covered, right? So if you take those videos, right, you now have content that you can post on TikTok, you can post on Instagram. I take the same exact video, specifically home tour videos, and I post it on all three platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Reels. And then, of course, on the landscape version, I post that on YouTube. And you can even, now that there's YouTube Shorts, you can post it there as well. So you really, truly, in 2025, you might not have my goal of 3 listings every single quarter, but if you follow the steps that I'm laying out for you right now, you darn sure are going to get a buyer client at some point within the next 60 to 90 days if you stay consistent with it, right? A lot of us, we have really big, lofty goals and we want to do all kinds of stuff, but it's that consistency, y'all, that is the unfortunate downfall for the majority of individuals that don't hit their goals, is because they just simply don't stay consistent with it. They start out real fast, out the blocks, they start going real crazy, but of course, when you realize that this is a marathon and not a sprint, you understand that you have to pace yourself, right? So every agent that I talk with that talks about, you know, they're interested in aligning here with me, a Real Broker, especially if they're a brand new agent, they've got some pretty lofty goals. And I always explain to those individuals that you have to pace yourself because, you know, and I've learned this in the 12-week yearbook. There's I forget the way that they put it, but there's infused optimism, I think is what it's called. Infused optimism. I'll screenshot it somewhere on the screen. But basically, when we start a thing, we don't think about the fact that we think in our mind that it's going to be completely positive as we set that goal. So you set a goal to sell 5 houses. You think in your mind, when you say I'm going to do that, you think in your mind it's going to be completely linear, it's going to be perfect, no issues with doing it at all. You're just going to find clients, they're going to tell you they're interested in selling, and everything's going to go smoothly. No issues with financing, no issues with the home inspection. There's not going to be any of that because I'm going to sell 5 houses. That's what we tell ourselves. But then when we get into the thing, then we have what they call something pessimism. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's the second level, and it talks about educated pessimism. So now that you've gotten in it, you realize that it's not as easy as you thought it was going to be. And then the third is the valley of despair, which is the moment when most individuals give up on the thing that they're doing. This is a really great book, y'all. Y'all really should I'm going to link the Amazon link. It's an affiliate link, so it's not going to change the price that you pay whether you use my affiliate link or not, but they'll give me a little something for you purchasing the book. But I strongly suggest that you get it. And if you don't want to get it through Amazon, get it from your library. Doesn't matter to me. But just use it because it's been a great book that I've been using to guide me through. Most individuals give up in the valley of despair part was my point. And I don't want that to be you because we're walking through the game plan in order to get your 3 listings or 3 buyers or whatever your specific goals are. Let those be your goals. I talk more about the outcome of those goals, and the outcome of those goals for me personally, my goal for this year is I want a Cybertruck. I've been very candid about sharing the fact that I want a Tesla Cybertruck. But that's my outcome for 2025. So the goal, at least one of them that I'm sharing here on YouTube, is that I'm going to do 3 listings every single quarter for the entire year. That is my goal. And I believe if I'm able to do that with an average sales price of, let's say, $500,000 per home, that I will be more than able to purchase the Tesla Cybertruck. So that's my video for today, y'all. I hope y'all like that I switched up and, did some different things. I've got more content coming your way. Let me know in the comments what your goals are, real estate related, for 2025. We don't do resolutions here on this channel. It's all about key performance indicators, handling your business with those key performance indicators, noticing the leading and the lagging indicators specific to you hitting your targets, and I want to help you win. So if you are interested in alignment here at Real Broker, you're already a high-powered agent, you already know how to do your thing, you just want to be at a brokerage that allows you to do your thing unhinged or untethered, if you will, then let's have a conversation about Real Brokerage and alignment there. If you are happy at the brokerage that you're at, but you want to hire me on as your personal real estate coach, again, I'm opening a very limited window of opportunity to work with a few agents all over the United States, and where I will pour directly into you my 25 years of sales experience, because at the end of the day, real estate is sales, and sales is what your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor is pretty good at, if I do say so myself. Let's do some cool things in 2025. Let me know how we can tap in. Before you go, make sure you check out one of these 2 videos that you see right now, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.